how to go from videographer to CEO of your own video production company. I built a six-figure video production company on the south side of Chicago. I do all types of documentary style video production. Primarily we do event video and documentary filmmaking. Nonetheless, I just want to talk to you all. If you're anything like me, you love telling stories, you love videography, photography, and that's pretty much how I was, and I still am. And I started off, I got my first camera, I was really excited. I started doing photography, and ultimately I realized I could do video production. And I started making music videos here in Chicago with some of my friends in high school, and it really sparked a level of creativity for me that I really wanted to lean further into. So ever since then, I never stopped shooting video. It's just been something I loved about it. And I think over time, there's a few things I realized about being a videographer that really frustrated me. I think it was, starting off, I wanted to do all things, right? I was doing events, I was doing maternity, I was doing all type of stuff, family photo shoots, and I was just learning and growing, music videos, and over time, you get burnt out doing that. And so once you get burnt out, especially doing all process of the production process, you're planning, you're doing admin, you're shooting, you're going home, you're editing. And after so many years of doing that, you are going to get burnt out, especially if you're not locked in on one particular area where there is a process to what you're doing. I think the other thing is when you really want to do more dynamic storytelling, making films, getting your ideas out there and not just shooting client things, you realize that you have a need for a team. Because sometimes it's difficult to tell your own story yourself if you want to create stories around yourself. And then in other cases, you just need a team. When you look at movies and you look at the credits and you see what everybody's doing, it's a lot. It's a lot of team members. It's a lot of coordination. It's a lot of teamwork in order to pull off a great film and tell a great story. So I'm going to talk to you all about how to go from being a videographer to actually running your own video production company as a CEO. And the first thing it requires is a realization that that's something that you want to do. You have to get to the place where you're willing to acknowledge, I don't want to just do all processes of production. I don't want to be the only person behind the camera. And I want to lead other people to make the storytelling process easier, to continue to do video for a living, but to do it in a way that's more manageable, that makes more sense. Once you finish with that realization, the next thing you're going to have to do is become a business owner, become a business-minded person. Most of the time, videographers come in the door as creatives. So you're working on your skills, you're figuring out what equipment to get, you're trying to improve your quality, but you're not thinking from a business owner and business and entrepreneurial perspective. When you begin thinking as a business owner, you start thinking about, oh, I need to go and get my actual LLC. I need to go and actually get a business bank account. You start thinking about things like, oh, I need to do taxes. The business side, right? And when you think about films, they're producers for a reason, because it's not just all the creativity from the director and the actors and these things. There is a need for that business side in order for stories to really come to life. So now you can't just be a videographer or a creative. You have to be a business owner and an entrepreneur. All right, y'all, let's go in and let's go get the wife some flowers. All right, that's done. Let's get back to the video. The thing is that focusing on the business, it can be hard because you never got in the game to be a business owner per se. You just want to create videos and create films and just be creative. But you'll get to the point where you realize that until you become a good business owner and entrepreneur, you'll never be able to be the creative that you want to be. And so it actually takes a little bit of a rude awakening, because then you have to stop really diving into getting better at your craft all the way. And you have to like really dive into business practices and becoming a better business owner. So now you have to do things like wake up at the right time, and don't stay up editing all night, and building systems in your business and structure to your business and creating structure in the creative process. I mean, these are things that you never thought would be necessary, and probably you are reluctant to do regardless, but it's something that is completely necessary for you to go from being a videographer to owning and running a video production company. And that transitions smoothly into the next topic, because doing those things as a business owner will help you to grow as a leader. And the next aspect of running a video production company is finding the right people to join you on a team. Now you have to swallow your pride. You have to realize that you're not the best at every single thing. You have to become a leader, and the easiest way to do this is identify one person and then start bringing them on shoots with you. For me, that started off with my wife. We were at the time shooting weddings, and I started bringing her on shoots. And so I needed a second shooter, and I didn't have one, and she was willing to help and support, which I'm very grateful for. So I had to teach her how to do video, and how, at a minimum, like, okay, this is how we set up the tripod. Okay, when the person moves, you need to follow them. This is how you unscrew the tripod to make sure that you can follow them smoothly. So now you have to identify, who you can have as a team, and that person should be somebody that is reliable, somebody who is interested, someone who's coachable, and someone who you can see building something with, because you don't want to invest your time into someone you just can't see yourself building with. And so it's very important that you are comfortable with their character. You're comfortable with them being an extension of you and representing the business while you're both there doing productions and things like that. And you know what? The beautiful part about this is people see the growth when you have additional people on production. And they're like, wow, this isn't just a solo person operation. You have someone else there. They view you as a leader. You're teaching. You're expanding. And this also justifies you being able to increase your prices, because now they have an understanding just by you having additional people that you're going to have to pay for additional people and the additional level of service that you're being provided as a client. And so overall, you have to identify the right team. I wouldn't attempt to expand too quickly. I would find one person, preferably a young person that's coachable, maybe that has the time, and get at it. Or a friend, if you have a friend that's willing. If you have a family member or a cousin, then they don't have to have prior knowledge on how to do this thing. They just have to have a willingness and be coachable and be ready to listen to what you got to say, because you're going to be leading. So this is going to push you into leadership, which is one of the best things that you could do. And this is where many videographers stop. They don't have the desire to lead. They don't have the drive to lead. They don't see themselves as a leader. And so they pretty much, they stop at being a videographer, which limits them. And another issue with building team for some videographers is you can't view other videographers as a competition. If you see somebody adjacent to you, they're about at the same level, they do the same things that you do, you should reach out and see, hey, like, are you interested in working with me? We're doing similar stuff. I love your work. And that will build an even more powerful connection, because now you have somebody that already knows what they're doing. So now you can move a lot faster. Last but not least, you have to become a teacher. And I talked about this a little bit, but you have to teach how you do things, because every videographer doesn't operate the same way. Every style of video is not the same style. And largely, you're going to have to teach, even if somebody's experienced in video production, you're going to have to teach them how you do things, how you conduct things in your business. And so that's where you begin to show them the style of how you shoot, the technical skill set, the way that you want them to engage with clients. Do you want them to eat on production or not? Do you want them to wear a particular attire when they come to shoot with you? These are things that are gonna largely build your company culture, your video production and media team culture, your brand. You know, this is a representation of your organization and your business. And overall, that's one of the most important things. I probably could make a whole video on brand and culture in your video production company. But at the end of the day, you have to be a teacher. And so now you have to fall in love with teaching and educating people around you, so they know how they should conduct themselves as they represent you and your business. And a bonus thought here is you have to begin to separate yourself from your business, because once you start bringing other people in, the business has to take on its own identity and own culture. So it can't just be you as an individual, but be a teacher, which means you should continuously be learning so that you can continuously teach people who you're serving with in your production company. So I don't want to make this video too long. This is, once again, in an effort for me to continue to post consistently and practice what I preach, document my life, and help somebody else that's looking to do something that I've done before. I believe that media is going nowhere, and there's going to be so many more people just like you that are looking to transition from being a photographer or a videographer to really running a company and having it be a tool that can sustain their lives and their creativity, and do it in a sustainable way. So I hope this video has helped. If you want to see more videos like this and follow more about my life as a filmmaker from the south side of Chicago that loves God, then go ahead and subscribe, follow, comment, like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.